There are two conversations happening at all times. The one we have with the world, in meetings, in emails, in the noise of our daily lives, and the one we have with ourselves, in the quiet moments, in the car, in the shower. But what about the third conversation? The one that happens in your deepest quiet, the one we have with mystery, the one we have when we are searching for a connection to something more than just ourselves. This is still becoming a space for messy, unfinished parts of being human. I'm your host, Anish, and today we are talking about one of the most universal and for many of us, one of the most awkward human experiences, prayer. Let's talk about the most awkward conversation you have ever had. Is one you have with your ceiling late at night. You are in a jam, you need something, and so you clear your throat, look vaguely upwards, and you start a negotiation. Hey God, universe, whoever is on the celestial switchboard tonight, it's me. Look, I know I haven't been in touch. My bad. But if you could just, get me through this, I promise I will be a better person. I'll probably start calling my mom more. I'll even start flossing my teeth, probably. Deal? It feels like a sacred act and more like you're trying to bribe a celestial bouncer to get in. And the worst part is that the silence that follows. You have sent your desperate text into the cosmos and now you're just staring at the screen, waiting for the divine red receipt. My relationship with prayer has evolved. Let's just say that it has evolved over a period of time. It started with following the scripts that were handed over to me when I was born in a Syrian Catholic family in Kerala. For most of my teenage life, I was an altar boy. I knew the rituals, the call and the response. I was good at the performance of a prayer. Then it evolved into a transaction, a kind of spiritual vending machine. If I put in enough good prayers, I would get the right results. But then, when things don't go my way, it evolved again into something almost superstitious. I'd blame God, or I would blame my praying patterns for my failures. The silence on the other end felt like a judgment. It took me a long time to untangle the words we use for this journey: religion, faith, spirituality. Now, you may think that they sound the same, but actually, they are not. For me, religion is the map. When you are lost in the woods, a map is beautiful, it's essential, it's a gift. It's the comfort of knowing you are not the first person to walk this path. It's the collective wisdom of generations handed to you, saying, here, this is how we found our way, and this might help you as well. It can feel like a lifeline, a relief. But let's be honest, sometimes that map is ancient. The language in that map is too old. The landmarks have changed. It's like trying to navigate a modern city with a map of 1800 to 1900s. You see a landmark on the page that just isn't there anymore. And the pressure to be a perfect map reader, to never question the path, to fold it just right, Sometimes we get so obsessed with honoring the map that we forget the whole point of the map is to get somewhere. Faith is different. Faith is what happens when map runs out. It is that moment you are standing at the edge of the forest and the path just ends. The map is no help, and you have a choice. Do you turn back to the familiar territory or do you step into the trees? That step, that's faith. It's not the absence of fear, it's the feeling of your heart pounding in your chest, the cold knot of uncertainty in your stomach, and then taking the step anyway. It's the courage to walk alongside your fear. It's quiet, it's terrifying, and ultimately liberating trust that you will find your way, even without a map. Or maybe because you don't have one. And third, spirituality. Spirituality is the walk itself. It's not the map, it's not the first brave step, it's the feeling of the dirt under your feet. It's the messy, imperfect, personal experience of being alive and awake in this world. It's noticing the way light filters through the leaves and the moments of unexpected grace. It's your own unique relationship with the mystery of it all. And just to clarify, this episode isn't about which map is best. It's about the courage to start walking. It's about finding a form of prayer that feels less like a performance and more like a conversation. So how do we find our way into the conversation? As I keep saying always, I don't have a perfect answer, but I have started to notice that for me, maybe for you, it's not one single thing. It's more like stages and evolution. First, there is a vending machine prayer. You know this one. It's where we all start. If I am good, please give me X. It's transactional, it's honest. Then there is the foxhole prayer. This is a prayer of pure desperation. This is your midnight prayer. God, get me out of this and I'll do anything for you. It's raw, it's real, but it's a prayer born of crisis and not a consistent connection. Then, if we are lucky, things can start to shift. We might find our way to the silent conversation. This is the turning point. It's where you stop talking so much and just listen. It's less about making requests and more about just being present in the quiet. And that can lead to the fourth one, which is prayer of noticing. This one is the most accessible and for me maybe the most profound. It's just simple sacred act of paying attention. The warmth of the sun on your face, the taste of your coffee, the kindness of a stranger. It's not about asking for a miracle. It's about recognizing the ones that are already here. Let me pause. We went through 4 different types of prayers right now. The vending machine prayer, the foxhole prayer, the silent conversation, and the prayer of noticing or observing. So as you hear these 4 stages, just for a second, check in on yourself. Which one feels most familiar to you right now? And there is no judgment here, none at all. I have lived through all 4 of those phases, sometimes all in the same day, sometimes over a period of time. But just noticing where you are, that's the beginning of this conversation. For me, I spent most of my life in the first 2, the vending machine and the foxhole. It's only recently that I've been trying to learn the language of the other 2. It's a clumsy, imperfect practice. But these stages, they are all just steps. And I need to pause here because I'm about to talk about a deeper form of this practice. And I'm going to use the word God because that's the language of my map. But if that word does not work for you, please don't check out on me here, because this next part isn't about religion, it's about spirituality. It's about profound need to get the chaos out of your head and a space where you can actually look at it. So when I say a friend, and if you don't believe in a divine one, please substitute. Maybe your friend is a blank page in a journal. Maybe it's the empty chair from the therapy. The container doesn't matter as much as the courage to be completely, unfilteredly honest. So, why does this work? Why does just talking it out change anything? There is a metaphor for this. Sometimes they say that we are just too close to the elephant. Let me explain that with an example. Let's say you are in a project at work that is completely going off the rails. All your stakeholders are unhappy, deadlines are slipping, and your stress is through the roof. All you can see is this giant, intimidating grey wall of failure. It's overwhelming. It's a blocker. You work late night, you're putting out one fire after another with no particular strategy or perspective. Your whole world has shrunk to the size of this terrifying wall. Now, think about it this way, that when you are facing this terrifying wall, if you put yourself in a space where you are able to focus, whether that's a journal, whether that's my version of a prayer, at this moment, take a total data dump of your entire soul. Every fear, every frustration, every angry email that you wanted to send but you could not. And as you fill your space with those words, now space in this for me could be my prayer, for you it could be a blank page of your journal. As you fill the words, the wall starts to take a shape. It's never a single monstrous failure. You will always find distinct manageable problems. It could be a communication issue, it could be a technical issue that you had not identified, it could be an unrealistic deadline that you could not renegotiate. But it's never one single monstrous failure. So what you are looking at is a grey wall, but when you take a few steps back, that grey wall becomes an elephant. It is still huge, it is still a challenge, but it has a shape, it has parts. It is no longer an overwhelmingly dead wall. It's a situation that can be navigated. And that's the power of stepping back. Whether it's prayer, meditation, journaling, these are just different ways of doing that one thing. Taking a few steps back so you can see the whole elephant, its shape, its context, its beauty. The problem does not shrink. Your perspective grows. And the bravest way to step back is the prayer of breakdown. The courage to just sit in quiet, alone, and take everything that is in your head, the anger, the fear, the shame, and just let it out. Not as a request, as a confession. And in that moment of raw honesty, something happens. You break down. And here's the secret. That breakdown isn't a sign that your prayer is failing. The breakdown is the prayer. It is the moment the armor cracks. It is the moment you step back from the elephant and finally see it for what it is. It is the moment of complete surrender. And that's when the healing happens. You don't get a divine red receipt. You get something much more real. The quiet, profound relief of having finally put it all down. And the rest, You trust that it will be taken care of. I used to think the whole point of prayer was getting that divine red receipt. I'm learning now that I had it all backward. The true purpose of prayer isn't to change the mind of God, it's to change the heart of the person who is praying. The healing isn't the reply, it's in the telling. Until next time, this is Anish, still becoming, right alongside you.